Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks. And here we stand, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. For us watching live at 8:30 Central European Time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. for our friends in the Philippines. I know there are a few of you that are listening now. And our friend in Russia, Eugene, if you're there, it's currently 11:30. How are you doing, friends? My God, we're hitting the start of another heat wave here in Europe. My God. Strap yourselves in, folks. Get ready. What do we have coming up in today's show? Let me tell you, my friends. We asked 100 humans to name something that people get removed from their body. To name something that people get removed from their body. Nombra algo que la gente se extirpa del cuerpo? I don't know. I'm seeing doubtful. Que se quita de su cuerpo, maybe. Better. Yeah? Do I get a nivelazo?
Será posible. Vaya nivelazo.
I got a thumbs up from the audience in the back, so there we go. Let's see what people are saying today. We've got Pedro, we've got Min, we've got Urs. Good morning. We've got Don't Worry, Be Happy. Good morning, Don't Worry, Be Happy. We've got Pedro. We've got Nessa Finessa. My God. Extripa. What? I don't even know the proper translation. I just kicked the translation elf, and he gave me that translation. What am I going to do? Then in 100 humans... Then in Complete the News, we find out what happened when an 87-year-old woman fought off a home intruder. Yeah, when an 87-year-old woman fought off. To fight off. Se defiende contra or se defende de? I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's early on a Monday morning. If you're listening on the radio, by the way, my friends, I have to tell you, the last few shows, because I'm terrible with my timing, if you download the podcast on all good podcast directories, just search for The ProBoh Show, you have like 10 minutes extra content because I don't know when to shut up. Let's see. So that's in Complete the News today. And in the first half of the show, we have an incredibly delicious, unpopular opinion to start the week. Based on human lifespans. The unpopular opinion today is human lifespans should not be extended. La vida humana no debe prolongarse. Right? Is that right? I need you guys in the chat to tell me if I deserve a nivelazo or not. You know? I need it from you. Good for her, said Nessa. Yeah, fighting off those vicious home intruders. Let's see. I hope you're ready, Rob. Min's ready for this unpopular opinion. I just want to be clear, because I have a little insight into Min's argument today. I'm not talking about cures for diseases. I'm talking about prolonging the human lifespan via genetic modification. There's all sorts of news that has popped up in my feed recently. And I believe Harvard and MIT scientists created this new cocktail of chemicals that can reverse aging. Okay. And that, millionaires are, or billionaires, should I say, are actively funding research in this area. And then there's one billionaire who spends $2 million per year to shave years off his life. I think he actually gets blood transfusions from his young son. It's crazy. Should we be looking at extending human life? That's what we're going to talk about in today's unpopular opinion. Not whether we could, but whether we should. Should we be encouraging humans to live to 200, 300 years old or indefinitely? I think it may hold back our evolution as a species. Let me just say. I'm just going to put it out there right now. But before that, guys, I'm here, you're here. Let's see what's going on in the world. Okay. Oh, my God. How many of you out there work from home? How many of you out there work from home right now? Enjoy the comforts of home while working on your daily tasks. How many? A few of you, I would imagine. But here we go. Is the era of working from home coming to an end? Interesting news from the company Zoom. You probably remember Zoom from the COVID-19 pandemic, right? You were having those parties on Zoom, getting drunk, pretending you were socializing. I know I was. Well, here we go. It's the end of an era, according to the New York Post. End of an era. Zoom tells its employees to return to the office for work. That, you know, are they not somewhat doing an Adobe here, self-sabotaging? Time to get back to the office. But guys, people use this software when they're working from home. Back to the office. Zoom self-sabotaging here. So here we go. This story. Zoom, the tech company that became a primary communication tool during the COVID-19 pandemic, is asking all of its employees to return to the office for the first time since the pandemic began. Employees living within 50 miles of a company office are expected to work on a hybrid schedule. Being on site at least 2 days a week, the company believes this structured hybrid approach will allow them to better use their own technologies, innovate, and support their global customers. This decision comes after a period of significant growth for Zoom during the pandemic, followed by a drop in stock value as workers began returning to the office. What do you think of this? I mean, it's not like they're going home or they have to return to the office 5 days a week. What is your opinion on the longevity of what will be working from home? I mean, we've already started to see more and more people returning to the office. At least here in Spain. By the way, if you're an international listener, we do produce the show from Madrid, Spain. I get in the metro every morning around 7 a.m. 7 a.m. and I get to work. I'm one of the early risers. I get into work way before most of the city. And the metro is packed. You know, if you've ever wanted that sausage meat experience, try traveling in the Madrid metro at 7 a.m. My God, it's packed. And I've seen this steady increase of people over the last year and a half. And it seems to me that more and more people are just returning back to the office. I'm interested in your opinion on this, guys. What do you think? I think human nature dictates that we'll end up going back to some degree. Whether we'll stay back, whether it'll be more of a hybrid type thing, we'll see. Right now, for example, I'm working from home. I'm producing the show from home. I'm doing editing from home over the summer. But as soon as the summer ends, I'm back in 5 to 6 days a week. So let's see. I would love to be young forever, says Nessa Vanessa. Vero's here. Good morning, beautiful warriors around the universe. I do, me, says Pedro. Impact says, some of my colleagues didn't return to the office forever. Yeah, same here. I do have friends that work permanently in remote. But their head offices tend to be in this case of my American friends, tend to be in another state. I have a friend here in Spain who works for a UK company. He works full-time remote. But it does seem to be for most jobs. They are the outliers. It's rarefied air right now. It used to be there was a whole section of LinkedIn dedicated to remote work, and that section has shrunk since the end of the pandemic. Nessa, for freelancers, I think working from home won't change. No, yeah. If I was freelance, I wouldn't be working in an office either. But you know what I might do if I were freelance? I might rent, a co-working space. Because one thing I learned about working from a remote, which was my case for around 2 years when I lived in the Canary Islands, you don't work from home. You end up sleeping in the office. Does that make sense? You see your computer there, like calling you unproductive, and you end up working too many hours. And at least if you're like me, I just had that sensation that I was sleeping in the office, not working from home. Anyway, so that news from the New York Post with regards to Zoom telling its employees to return to the office. What else? Let's turn our attention further afield to Texas. Texas power prices to surge 800% on Sunday amid searing heat. So that was yesterday. Texas, the price for power in Texas increased 800%. Ted Cruz, return from Cancun immediately. You've got an emergency in your state. My God. Due to extreme heat in Texas, power prices for Sunday have surged over 800%, pushing demand toward record levels. I'm not a mathematician, friends. I know my July electricity bill was €100. Right? So, if that happened to me, I would be paying €800 for a month's worth of power. That would bankrupt me, friends. That would bankrupt me. Let's see. So, 800% pushing demands toward record levels and straining supplies on the state grid. The price for electricity on the grid rose more than $2,500 per megawatt hour from Sunday's high of about $275. Here's the thing that annoys me about this news. It came out after this started happening here in Europe and in the States. Do you remember during the last heat wave we had last year and the year before? Power prices started to surge. These power companies recorded record profits. The CEOs and higher management recorded bonuses. Surely we should be putting some kind of legislation in place to stop this from happening. Capping power company earnings, something like that. Because, look, let's face it, guys. In this modern age, electricity should be a human right, right? Or am I overstepping here? I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. Vero says, when I was working for a company, I liked commuting. Now that I work from home, when I work, I like it too. Yeah, I mean, I like it too for short periods of time, Vero. I think it's when it becomes a prolonged period of homework, it kind of becomes a little more tedious. You feel guilty for just doing home things in your home, or at least I did. What are you doing drinking a coffee when you should be working? Come on. Although I've got to say, putting in an 8-hour-a-day shift in your underwear is just chef's kiss. Beautiful. True, home does become your office, but with what we pay for autonomos, there's no way I can afford renting even a chair. Some months I literally pay for working, but that's another subject. Yeah, here in Spain, if they really want to progress innovation here in Spain, they would cut the amount you have to pay for being an autonomo. The bureaucracy here, friends. You're paying upwards of €300 a month just for the ability to work. Spain, I am watching you. ProBoh has his eyes and his army of elves watching you. You can't encourage people to work. Get out there, work, and then make it so prohibitively expensive to do anything. I'm with you here, Nessa. I'm with you here. It's ridiculous. Pedro here, our legal correspondent, says, we discussed this some time ago. The ideal setup is flexible hunter mode of working from home a couple of times per week. Yeah, that would be nice. Where possible. Okay, and finally, do we have time for another piece of news? I think we might put a pin in the third piece of news and get straight into today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
All right, friends, what even is an unpopular opinion? What's the bald man talking about? Okay, guys, an unpopular opinion is a brain fart. Un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental, una rayada. I share it with you on my social media, namely my Instagram. That's at Professional Bohemian. Arroba Bohemio Profesional, pero in inglés. Okay, so at Professional Bohemian, you'll find it there in my stories. Today's was human lifespans should not be extended. La vida humana no debe prolongarse. We shouldn't be extending human lifespans. Now, what I mean here is not we shouldn't be curing diseases or we shouldn't be making life more bearable for humans. I'm saying we shouldn't extend our lifespans beyond what is natural or safe. Let's say beyond 100 years. My grandmother died when she was 100 years old. Perfect. If I can live to 100 like my gran, chef's kiss. And then bury me, burn me, do whatever the hell you want with me and let the second generation take over. So we should not extend the human lifespan. So that's today's unpopular opinion. I guess you guys want to know what they said on Instagram. So let's get a little drum roll. 58% true. 58% true. Not used to being so popular in my unpopular opinions. I'd be interested, if you are one of those people who would say true as well, I would be interested to know why. I have my thoughts, but I think the opinions on this vary somewhat between people. So I'd be really interested in understanding why you think we shouldn't be extending the human lifespan. And if you want to do that, if you're frustrated listening to this at home, what you can do is you go to Professional Bohemian on Twitch, twitch.tv//Professional Bohemian, and you can interact with the show live. Okay, let's see what is being said in the chat. In my company, we consulted all employees, and the decision was to have 3 days per week at home out of over 500 employees. Okay. All right, here we go. Into today's unpopular opinion. Pedro says, the problem with the unpopular opinion is that humankind, as any species, is hardwired to increase lifespan. When you combine that with our latest technological advances, I believe it is inevitable that to the extent of increasing lifespan is scientifically possible, there will always be a market for that, so it will happen. However, I do agree that it makes more sense to invest in having better, healthier life than a longer life. Oh. Take a bow, Pedro. Great point. Yeah, I agree. Work on increased quality of life, not increased lifespan, right? I think that we need a turnover of humans, basically. New ideas, fresh voices. We'll get into this in a bit. Wow, Rob, you don't want us to use vaccines? How could you? That's not what I'm saying, man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying vaccinate. I'm saying let's cure cancer. Let's cure every disease known to man. Let's everyone die of old age, happy, surrounded by our families. But let's not die at 1,000 years old. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's get into the pros and cons. I did choke the elves out this morning until they gave us some pros and cons. So here we go. Agreeing with the statement, human lifespans should not be extended. Extending human lifespans could exacerbate overpopulation, leading to increased pressure on resources such as food, water, and housing, potentially worsening environmental issues such as climate change. True story, right? Are we not already at the brink of a water crisis? We're not so far away from a food crisis, because let's not forget, most of our food is feeding on water. So, I mean, here in Spain, we spoke a while ago about the desertification of the southwest of Spain, how it's turning into a desert, how a lot of that agricultural land is not being fed with river water because of it going dry. So are we not already on the verge of a food and water crisis? You want to stop people from dying now? Come on. Here we go. Next, longer lifespans could lead to social and economic challenges. For example, retirement ages would need to be pushed back, potentially reducing opportunities for younger generations. An interesting point as well. While extending lifespan, we may not necessarily extend health span, resulting in individuals living longer but with chronic illnesses or decreased quality of life. And finally, life extension technologies might initially be available only to the wealthy, increasing inequity. Those who can't afford such treatments could be disadvantaged or stigmatized. Interesting point. Imagine ourselves 200 years down the line, where you've got just this cabal of wealthy people living unlimited lifespans, while the rest of us, la población, el pueblo, the people, you know, are slaves to these vampiric individuals. Sounds like science fiction, right? But there are news breakthroughs. We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, in the con column, saying no, we should be working on extending the human lifespan. Here we go. Life extension technologies could potentially reduce or eliminate many diseases associated with aging, thus reducing human suffering and improving quality of life. Next, if safe and effective means to extend human lifespan exists, individuals should have the autonomy to decide whether to use them. Next, a healthier, longer living population could remain productive and contribute to society and the economy for longer periods. And finally, with extra years or decades of life, people might have more time to learn, grow, and contribute to technological and societal advances. All right, so let's break this down, right? Because there's quite a lot of truth in both arguments. Okay, so number one, we've already mentioned potential inequality, right? If these treatments exist and only the rich can afford them, are we not creating a class of people that basically just become richer and richer while the rest of us are left in the dust? I mean, I'm briefly mentioned the news of one millionaire or billionaire who spends an average of $2 million a year trying to increase the length of his own life. I will actually post all the links to these studies and things in my Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. You can read them all there at your leisure. Harvard and MIT scientists have claimed that a new chemical cocktail can reverse aging. This is already in existence. And a ton of startups being funded by the wealthy already that cure old age. Or reverse aging, let's say. Interesting. But on the other side of that, have we not been talking about the decrease, how the human population on Earth is going to start falling off a cliff pretty soon, at least here in the West? Already we found out that in Japan, they have a 800,000 person deficit. They're going to hit very, very soon, if it's not happened already, a worker deficit. And it's happening all over the West. South Korea, lowest reproduction rates in history. It seems to be all over the educated West as well, that we're just not reproducing. Is a longer living population a solution to that? But then imagine you have to work for 100 years before you can retire. Or 200 years. Let's see how far we can push the envelope on this. Let's see some messages in the chat. Okay, Vero says, Spain has one of the world's longest lifespan. That's due to our way of life and diet, says Vero. I live in Spain, Vero. I can agree. Although my diet mainly consists of frozen pizza, caffeine, and nicotine. I don't know how long I'm going to live on that diet. But it's true. It's true. The Mediterranean diet has been shown. I think it's something in the olive oil, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Pedro. But Rob, as we find cure for more causes of death, increasing lifespan is inevitable. Yeah, but I would consider that not increasing the human lifespan. I think these medicines or these breakthroughs that reduce aging or roll back the clock on the human body, those are the things that I dispute. If we cure Alzheimer's, cancer, and we end up living to 100, past 100, 120, okay, so be it. But actively rolling back the clock on the human aging process, that's where I think, okay, hang on a minute. So we're potentially talking about people who can live forever. Is that healthy? Culturally speaking, isn't it important that certain ideas die with generations and new ideas are born with the next? Is that not important? We've spoken several times about that racist elderly relative that we speak to at Christmas or Thanksgiving or whenever we have a family gathering. Well, that's grandma. Don't worry about grandma. She's from the past. But what about when from the past is the active majority in society? Do we not halter our cultural evolution there? Do we not kind of put the brakes on what could be new ideas, new cultural evolution? That's what I worry about. There's nothing more. You know that I have this love affair with Generation Z and the ideas that they've brought. I just think it's wonderful. And even with the millennials, as you see this progression, there's a beautiful kind of tide and natural movement to the way we evolve as people. And I'm sure the next generation, maybe I'll hate them, I'll hate their music, I'll hate, just like anyone who grows older, we kind of stop appreciating the new and start valuing our own nostalgic idealized view of the past. I hope I can stave that off, but who knows? I'm only human, friends. But that's my opinion, right? It's my opinion. I feel like we shouldn't be extending human lifespans any more than we already have. Not talking about curing diseases, I'm talking about reversing aging. Okay, guys, well, that is my opinion, but, I'm an idiot here. And it's just an opinion. What I want to know is your opinion. All right, friends? So over the break, which is coming up in about 30 seconds, I will ask you to vote in a poll. You guys who watch live, you are the decision makers. The subject of the poll, human lifespans should not be extended. True or false? Friends, so many things you could have been doing on this beautiful, beautiful morning. It's Monday for us listening live or on the podcast. It's Tuesday for you guys who are listening on the radio. Tons of things you could have been doing. But instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. See you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show.
The ProBoh Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. How are you doing out there? If you've just tuned in and you're listening on the radio, what have you missed? Oh my God, the end of an era, friends. That's all you've missed. The end of an era. Zoom, the tech company that became one of the primary communication tools during the COVID-19 pandemic, Zoom is telling its employees to return to the office. No more remote work, or at least no more remote working 100% from them. And then we took a very quick look at the Texas power grid straining because of Sunday's temperatures and how costs surged 800%. My God. 800% increase on the power bill for those poor people during one of the hottest times of the year, and people relying heavily on their air conditioning and their cool air. Is this a scumbag move, or is it really about a strain on the power grid? Because we all remember all those news stories that came out after this happened here in Europe about power companies recording record profits, CEOs taking record bonuses. Come on, replace them all with AI. And then we moved on to today's unpopular opinion, which is a bit of a hot topic here in the chat. It was human lifespans should not be extended. Human lifespans should not be extended. We looked at some pros and cons. I'm going to turn my attention to the chat. But first, I'm going to read some messages I got on Instagram with regards to this. May, spelled MEI, says, I reckon we should respect life's natural cycle. The idea of extending life unnaturally doesn't sit well with me. We should focus more on quality, not quantity. Oh my God.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
I could not agree more with that comment. Absolutely. Focus on quality of life, not quantity. You know? When we have no humans dying of starvation, of the extreme heat, things like that, when people are living happy, healthy lives, then we'll look at it, but not before. Lucas says, in my book, the brevity of life is what gives it meaning. More years might not equate to more happiness or wisdom. We might just be stretching out the inevitable. Oh, you also.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Gonna try and avoid too much romanticism here, and stay pragmatic with my arguments. But having said that, is there not a certain beauty in life's brevity? You know? And certain wisdom that comes with advancing age? I mean, we've spoken about, old people, in a very kind of tongue-in-cheek manner about how, those older family relatives with antiquated ideas. But there is a certain amount of wisdom that comes with the advancing and the encroaching mortality, right? Does that not afford us a certain beauty and wisdom that we might lose if we start just rolling back our years? It's an interesting question. Okay, but it may not be the most pragmatic argument here, but it's something to consider. Thank you for that, Lucas. And finally, Elijah, I respectfully disagree. If science can safely extend our lives, why not? We'd have more time for research, learning, and contributing to society. It's the next logical step in our evolution. What if an extension of human life is downloading your essence to a hard drive, and living in a simulation? Would you be as keen to do that? Interesting. Okay, let's turn our attention to the chat and see some of the comments that were coming in. Being bad faith is fun, says Min. Exactly. Rob is fine with anti-vaxxers and babies dying from cancer. No, I'm not. I didn't say that. I'm all for curing diseases and life being extended to the point of what the human body is potentially capable of. Where I kind of draw the line for me personally is reversing aging. Do you know what I mean? Rob, as we find cure... Oh, yeah, we read that one. Let's continue. As I said, I agree we need a new paradigm on medical research. Yeah, I would agree to that. Nessa, you're thinking about life as we know it, but we don't know how things will evolve. And in the future, there might be room for all from 1 to 1,000 years old. Maybe. The problem is, this is from Pedro, that scientific medical research will only thrive where the money is. So if there are billionaires out there investing fortunes in that, it is inevitable that lifespan will increase. Yeah, this may be an inevitability, so it's a conversation worth having right now as we're not there yet. We may be at the precipice of it, according to this Harvard and MIT research. And this chemical cocktail, a pill, essentially, that can roll back years. We may be at the precipice of it, but yeah, it's worth thinking about whether it's actually worth it. What else? Well, let's continue. I think there's much more to learn from elders than that, Rob. So much more. Yeah, I know. I was being tongue-in-cheek. I was being a little facetious. It's true. Elders, as advancing age and the reality of our own mortality sets in, I mean, I think you can define being young as feeling invulnerable, as feeling like as nothing, as time doesn't exist. But as you get older, your own mortality kind of sinks in, and it has done for me over the last few years. And there is a wisdom knowing that you're only here for a finite amount of time. Yes, Nessa, this is from Pedro. Young generations can be jerks and racist too. True story. Let's see. The music that I have on the break is too chill. It's sending people to sleep. Nessa, and why can't it be a quality extended life? You're talking from the point of view of a 45-year-old. Let's do this in 30 years. Okay, so there's an interesting point as well, right? So I'm a relatively, touch wood, healthy 45-year-old man right now. Okay? I'm not suffering from anything. I'm relatively strong, mobile. How would I feel about this issue in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time? I'm 75. Would I not appreciate rolling back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? It's easy to make this argument now at my current age, right? It's easy to say no, we should all be dying, but I'm not facing death, touch wood, right now. So it would be interesting maybe when the ProBoh Show is in season 30 to redo this topic and see how I feel about it, right? Yeah, again, the flexible and fluid nature of our own moral structure. I'm not immune to it. As I often say, I'm the chief idiot here. We're all idiots. As Grandpa Bo used to say, opinions are like buttholes, friends. We all have one and they all stink. Should we see what you guys thought? Let's do it. So I made the argument that human lifespan should not be extended. But what did you guys think? Okay, I released the poll. You guys said 80% true. Very good. Yeah. There are definitely pitfalls, right? How about if Albert Einstein had had another 70, 100 years to progress his research? Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, these great people who have advanced or had a hand in advancing technology. How about if they had more time? How about if Stephen Hawking could have lived another 100 years? Carl Sagan, all these people who've had an amazing impact on life and the way we live it. Or Oppenheimer, says Pedro. Would our lives not be positively impacted by that? Who's to say? But possibly yes. That being said, though, we are humans. We are humans. Is our inevitable death not a part of the human experience? Is there not wisdom to be gained from that? Interesting topic. I'll be honest. Okay, so I'll give you my honest opinion here. I am totally on the fence with this one. I kind of do believe in my current state as a relatively healthy 45-year-old dude that, yeah, I don't think we should be extending lifespans. I think it's an essential part of the human experience. But so is having children. I don't have those. Right? Interesting. All right, guys. So we're going to call it a day there. You guys have spoken. 80% true. We should not extend the human lifespan. Let's go into today's 100 Humans. You guys are killing it today. Thank you. All right, let's see. So it was a long walk to work today, friends. Across snow-capped mountains, through river valleys, and on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. Okay, today's question was, name something that people get removed from their body. Name something that people get removed from their body. Nombra algo que la gente se quita del cuerpo. Name something that people get removed from their body. I'm not seeing any nivelazos in the chat. I'm just assuming my Spanish is trash today. Okay, let's see. We can have an unpopular opinion about having children. Yeah, we could do that. I think I've done that in the past. I think last summer I did that one. But we could return to that one as well. Okay, all right. So name something that people get removed from their body. All right, let's get into it. Ooh, some great answers in the chat. Let's go straight there. Okay. Vero says fat. Fat. People get fat removed from their body. Talking about the medical operation liposuction, I think it's called. Right? When you get fat removed from your body. Okay, is it there? Did the 100 humans agree? No. Great answer, though, Vero. Pedro says clothes. But not there. But true. Probably the most frequent thing you remove from your own body, right? Clothes. Okay, wisdom teeth says oors. Well, let's broaden that out. Let's just say teeth. Is teeth there? People do get teeth removed from their body, right? Well done, oors. It's their third most popular answer, with 9 of 100 humans saying teeth. Name something that people get removed from their own body. Teeth. Well done, oors. Got us off the starting block. Thank you. Dirt, says Pedro. I like the way Pedro's thinking here. He's thinking outside the box. But is Pedro a little bit too intelligent for our 100 humans? Let's find out. Pedro says dirt. Is it there? Oh, unlucky. Okay. I'm around very old people and live their difficulties and also the beauty within them. We need to have them a lot more present. Sorry, Rob, this subject touches me deeply. No, absolutely. Come on. And I'm no stranger to the fact that I can be facetious in the attempt of being funny. Don't take anything I say seriously. Come on. Usually when people get upset with me, that's why I'm able to laugh, because I'm a clown, essentially. All right, let's continue. Pedro says, hair. Something people get removed from their body. Hair. Is hair there? Well done, Pedro. Well done. Hair is there is the 6th most popular answer, with 6 of 100 humans saying people get hair removed from their body. You know, when God makes a mistake, friends, we all know he covers it in hair. That's why the most beautiful people on this planet are not cursed with hair, right, Pedro? Pedro feels me. All right, let's continue. So hair, well done. Nessa says, warts. Warts. Something people get removed from their body. Warts. Well done. Warts is there. It is the 5th most popular answer, with 8 of 100 humans saying warts. Very good. Okay. Definitely clothes, says Min. It's a good answer, but it's not there, Min. It's not there. Nessa says tumors. Tumors. Is tumor there? No, it's not. Oh my god. Great answer, though. Moles, says Nessa. Yeah, there's nothing worse than a topo crawling around the inside of your body, right? No, not that kind of mole. I don't actually know how you say mole in Spanish. I know how to say the animal mole, which is topo. Let me kick the translation elf, so you can see what he shoots out. Lunar. There you go. Lunar is mole. Okay. Mole, is it there? Yes, it is. And Nessa for Nessa, it's the number 1 answer. There we go, Nessa, well done. Number 1 answer, people get moles removed from their body. Okay. Here we have a few answers. We have, Pedro says nails. They're nails, las uñas. Jeez. Pedro's talking about Guantanamo Bay here. You know, there's a terrorist. Let's remove the nails from his body until he tells us where the cell is. Is nails there? No, it's not. Don't get on the wrong side of Pedro. He's our legal correspondent and resident torture expert. No, I understand. You cut your nails, right? Okay. We had hair. Great answer, Vera. We had hair. Tonsils, says Min. Tonsils. Tonsils. Something people get removed from their body. Tonsils. Tonsils are amygdalas? Amygdalas? Yeah, tonsils. Okay, tonsils. Is tonsils there? Yes, it is. Well done. It's the 4th most popular answer, with 9 of 100 humans. Guys, you're only missing 1. Lunar, said Nessa, and Pedro. Well done, well done, well done. You guys killing it.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Axes and knives, says Nessa. You know what? You're going to get a...
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
You know, if I had one in my body, I'd definitely want it removed. But it's not there, sadly. It's not there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue. All right. So here we go. Poo, says Federer, again, for comedy value.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
I would say you more remove the poo yourself, right? Rather than going to a professional. I had a curry last night. Could you remove this poo from inside me? Okay, I'm going to give you a clue. This is probably the only answer in the list that is not something native to the human body. It's something we do to ourselves, usually in the name of aesthetics, you know? It's become increasingly popular nowadays. When I was a kid, people having these were seen as, you know, this is kind of a rough individual. Oh my God, look at all the blank here that this person has. And maybe you get this done as you're younger and you later want this removed. I see Pedro has an answer here. Pedro says tattoos. Tattoos. Is tattoos there? Well done. That was it. That was the one you were missing, friends. Well done, Pedro. Tattoos. Tatuajes, right, in Spanish. Well done, guys. Oh my God, you did it with only the clues on one. My translation skills. I don't think the elf is doing a good job here. Okay. Anyway, let's go. So we'll go down the list. I asked 100 humans to name something that people get removed from their body. In position number 7, we had the appendix. The appendix, appendice, I think is, maybe I've screwed up the pronunciation, but I think that's it. Okay, in position number 6, we had hair, pelo. In position number 5, we had warts. 8 of 100 humans said warts. In position number 4, we had verrugas. The verrugas is warts. Tonsils, amygdalas. In position number 3, we had teeth, dientes, teeth. Well done. In position number 2, we had tattoos, tatuajes. And finally, with 37 of 100 humans, in position number 1, we had a mole. Not a topo, a lunar, a mole. Well done, guys. And a big congratulations to Nessa Vanessa for getting the number 1 answer. Guys, that was today's 100 humans. Well done. Let's go to Complete the News.
Complete the news.
I can see piles. Oh my God. Milk, Pedro? Something people get removed from their body. True story. Okay, guys, this is Complete the News. I'm going to give you a news headline, un titular. And what you guys will do is identify the missing information. All you have to write here is A, B, or C. If you're one of the people in the chat that are watching but not participating, perhaps you feel a little embarrassed in writing, this is your moment. Because all you have to write is A, B, or C. You'll very quickly get the hang of this, my friends. Here we go. So, a US woman from the United States, a US woman fights off a teenage home intruder. A home intruder, someone who enters her home without permission, a home intruder. And then blank. Una mujer estadounidense de 87 años se defiende de un intruso adolescente en su casa, and then blank. So a US woman, 87, fights off a teenage home intruder, then blank. But what is it? Is it A, then gives him snacks? Did she then feed him? Is it B, then calls his mother? Or C, then holds him hostage for 3 years? Oh, I got nivelazo.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Okay, so a US woman, 87, fights off a teenage home intruder, then blank. Is it A, then gives him snacks? Is it B, then called his mother? Or is it C, then held him hostage for 3 years? A, B, or C? I'm seeing the chat overwhelmingly answer C here. Held him hostage. Jeez, don't want to meet your grandmas. Weren't we saying that old people were nice like literally 20 minutes ago? I would love it to be B though, then called his mother, says Nessa. Yeah, that would be awesome. We're a bit pessimistic here. C. Urs says C. Wow, unanimous. We haven't had this in ages. A unanimous vote for C. Let's see which one is correct. So here we go. A US woman, 87, fights off a teenage home intruder, and then the answer is A. This is, as always, a completely true story coming from The Guardian. Here we go. An 87-year-old woman, oh bless her, from Brunswick, Maine, named Marjorie Perkins, managed to fend off a 17-year-old intruder who broke into her home. God, poor lady. The teenager, who used to mow her lawn, threatened her with a knife, but she defended herself using a chair as a shield. After a physical confrontation, the boy retreated to the kitchen, where he confessed to being hungry. Perkins then gave him snacks, including peanut butter and honey crackers, tangerines, and protein shakes. While he was eating, she called 911. She called the police. The boy was later arrested and charged with burglary, criminal threatening, assault, and underage drinking. Despite the incident, Perkins expressed hope that the boy would receive the help that he needs. Is this not the best news story in the history? Marjorie Perkins.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
It's, you know, elves. Standing ovation for Marjorie, please. Come on. Come on. I was wrong all along. Old people are amazing. Is that not a great news story? True story, yeah. A woman 87 felt so bad for the home intruder, she made her snacks. Is that not the best grandma story in the history of grandma stories? The oracle would be the dissenting vote, says Pedro. Yeah, if Natch were here, he would have identified this. He would have. I don't know how he does it. He does it because he's in tune with the ether. No more Natch until we get back to the office. I think it will probably be the second week of September. But I'll tell you something, guys. I am enjoying doing these shows from my home studio a lot. And can I tell you why, friends? It's because of you guys. You guys all deserve.
That gets the ProBoh stamp of approval.
Thank you so much for being here. There's so many things you could have been doing, right? So many things. But you've been here and you've heard me talk about things that get removed from the human body. We had a great unpopular opinion today about human life extension. Should we really be working on reversing aging? Or should we be working more? Should we be focusing more on the quality of life that we already have? We took a look at some news which may point to the end of the era of remote work, where Zoom, the remote work tool, Zoom, has told its employees to return back to the office. And we looked at the shocking Texas power price increase. 800%, guys. Imagine that. I worry personally that this is just a sign that this power company or these power companies are just going to rake in more exorbitant profits. Thank you so much. Aren't people amazing? Paraphrasing Charlie and from The Whale. People are amazing, and you guys are amazing. Guys, so many things you could have been doing on this beautiful, beautiful Monday morning, Tuesday for you on the radio. But instead of doing those things, you guys took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. Guys, all the links that I've used in today's show, they will appear in my Patreon for my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.